Okay, so Wrestlemania 37 this weekend exclusively on Peacock. We've been talking about it the entire show. We're going to keep talking about it because it is the showcase of the Immortals, the granddaddy of them all, whatever you want to say. WrestleMania fits every single adjective, every single description. Right now, I've got one of the most distinguished current WWE superstars, somebody with a list of accomplishments that is mind-boggling. It is, of course, the star of Miz and Mizs on USA Network. And it is the guy that's going to be facing Bad Bunny this weekend on Peacock. It is the Miz. Miz, welcome to Rasslin.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. I always like coming on anything Barstool to discuss, whether it's sports, WWE, Miz and Mrs., whatever you guys want to talk about. Let's go.
We're going to discuss all of it. I want to start with Wrestlemania because you and I are about the same age, pretty much the same level of success, same level of attractiveness. We're pretty much the same 100%. Guy. I grew up a wrestling fan just like you did. WrestleMania, the biggest night of the year. What is the first WrestleMania that you remember as a kid that you watched?
So it wasn't even one that I watched. So my dad went to New Jersey, where you are, by the way, and he went to gamble, and it just so happened to be
the weekend
of WrestleMania, and so my dad comes back with a program, and I'm a huge WWF at the time fan. Like, I'm a huge fan of all the superstars. And so he brings back this program. I open the first page. It's signed by Hulk Hogan.
Right.
It's signed by Randy Savage. I turn the next page. Honky Tonk Man. I'm like, Dad. And by the way, I'm like 7, maybe, like young. So my dad's like, yeah, I met them all. Like, you should have saw Andre the Giant's head. He shook my hand and it engulfed my entire hand. It was like a baseball glove, Michael. It was incredible. I couldn't believe it. They were all just standing there. They were at the bar and they all just ended up signing this thing. And it's incredible. Cut to about, let's say, 10 years later.
Right.
I'm going through my stuff and because I'm going to college. So you go through all your stuff, everything you're taking down to college. And I find that program. It's still in mint condition. I open it very delicately. Hulk Hogan's signature, Randy Savage's signature. Boom, flip it over it again. And I start noticing they're all kind of saying the same thing, but the autographs are kind of the same, like handwriting.
Mm-hmm.
Flip it again. There's Red Rooster. I'm like, wow, huh? And then I look at like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and then all of a sudden, like, I realize, and I go, oh my God. I go, Dad! And lo and behold, my dad signed every single one of them. He said, and by the way, he was doing it on the airplane, and people were giving him napkins to sign for their kids.
Oh boy. Oh,
yeah.
Boy. Well, so your dad is a felon. I mean, that's fraud.
But the thing is, it's my dad. So I mean, what is someone going to do? You know what I mean? That's the way my dad thinks. There's nothing wrong with that. It gave you a smile. It gave you a memory. It gave us a story, Michael. Like, you should be applauding me, patting me on the back. Like, when my dad was in the WrestleMania ring at when it was in New York a couple years ago, and he got in the ring, and I said, Dad, if you get in the ring, if anything happens, just put your dukes up. And he put it up like a 1940s boxer.
Mm-hmm.
And it became a meme. Like, it became one of the biggest, most talked about things at that WrestleMania. And now my dad will call me every Monday and tell me what I'm doing wrong. And I'm like, Dad, you know, you've been in the ring for like 10 minutes. He goes, and what happened? And I go, yeah, I get it. You were one of the most talked about memes of all time. So you should listen to me, don't you think? And I'm like, no, Dad, you don't get it.
That is a fantastic story. Yeah, I remember as soon as he did it, it was that night, and it's been ever since. Anytime there's like a fight meme or something, there's your dad just holding those dukes up. That's pretty incredible if you think about it. And no, it's
my worst nightmare. It's my worst nightmare.
So WrestleMania 37, you guys will be in Tampa. You're running it back in Tampa. There will be limited fans there. I believe 25,000 capacity. How eager are you guys to get out there and feel that live crowd again?
I cannot wait. It's been a long time. I think over a year now since we've had a live crowd. And WWE has done a tremendous job in bringing in the virtual fans and kind of still feeling that live atmosphere. But to actually have the electricity that is a live audience is going to be incredible. And, WrestleMania has an incredible lineup. I mean, we have it 2 nights this year, April 10th and 11th on Peacock, and I'm just excited for not only my match, but there's a lot of other matches like, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Edge going for the Universal Championship. I think Roman has been doing a fantastic job with the Universal Championship. And then you look over on our side on Monday Night Raw, and you have Bobby Lashley, who beat me for the WWE Championship. So anyone that can beat me is obviously a monster, a powerhouse, and he's going to be taking on Drew McIntyre, who has throughout this pandemic, throughout this entire time without fans, has held the WWE Championship to the standard it should be held at. He has done a tremendous job, and it just goes to show the hard work and dedication that it comes from a person like Drew McIntyre, because he wasn't always on top. Right. It took him a long, long, long time to get there. And now that he's on top, to be able to stay there for a significant amount of time is almost even more difficult than getting there.
Well, what's incredible about the main event, or the Raw main event there that you just mentioned, is Bobby Lashley is a guy that people saw money, they saw main events, they saw everything, and he's had a very good career, but he is currently doing the greatest work of his career alongside MVP right there. He's doing incredible work, and he deserves this main event. Drew McIntyre, for over a year, has been carrying this thing and has been awesome. It really is a clash of two guys that 10 years ago, people thought they were the next big thing. And 10 years later, they are clashing at the height of their powers. I think that main event is going to be something else. I think the women's main events with Sasha against Bianca Belair, and on the Raw side with Asuka and Rhea Ripley are going to be fantastic. Let's go to your match, though. You have got, you're facing Bad Bunny. You're facing somebody from outside the business. That is a spot that's happened at WrestleMania many times before. Lawrence Taylor coming in, fighting Bam Bam Bigelow. You've had Big Show do it. You've had other guys throughout the history of WWE fighting these outsiders, and now you've got Bad Bunny. How's that match going to go, Miz?
Honestly, I look at Bad Bunny. He is arguably the biggest star we've ever had, and you might say, like, well, I don't know him. Go to YouTube. Look at his music videos. They have over 1 billion, and I'm not saying M, I'm saying B, 1 billion views. This guy is an international sensation. He is the biggest Latino Latin pop artist out there. Not only that, I'm sorry, not pop, but rap artist. And honestly, he's a multi-platinum recording artist. The guy's won a Grammy. He was an SNL musical act. I mean, it's very tough to get on that show. And, he ever since Royal Rumble, he's been sticking around WWE because, in a sense, he is a fan. The problem is, whenever you come at me, and I feel like I am at the top of my game, I was just WWE champion, and I've always been taught about respect in the back, respect in the locker room. And I just feel that he came in and rubbed people the wrong way, and he's been rubbing me the wrong way. And it's one thing to do an act, like a performance. A performance is fantastic, great. But then to stick around and hang around and then sucker punch me last week, which people are still talking about. And I know that because I got off the plane and people were like, hey, saw that punch. And even like people in the back in the locker room were like, oh, got you, huh? And I go, you know what? May have got me then, but receipts, as we call in the business, are pretty fun when you know it's coming. So right. At WrestleMania, I plan on giving him a very good receipt.
You've kind of already given him one, though, because you hit Bad Bunny with a guitar. And sure. As far as weapons go in this line of work that you're in, how sweet is it to hit somebody with a guitar?
Anytime you can hit someone with a guitar, it's fun. I felt like the honky tonk man out there, to be honest with you. It's pretty great. It feels really good. And I thought I taught him a lesson. Like, look, you've overstayed your welcome. Please go. Thought he would. He didn't. Challenged him to Mania. He accepted. Didn't think he was going to accept. And then he hit me over the back with a guitar. So let me tell you, it's a lot more fun to hit someone with a guitar than to get hit with a guitar.
We will we'll get back to that Bad Bunny match in just a minute. I got a couple questions about the reality show. It is returning Miz and Mizs on the Monday night after WrestleMania on the USA Network, 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central. So I'm reading the description. You've got season 2.5, right? You got 6 more episodes of season 2. They're calling it season 2.5, but I'm reading the description. And it says all the usual stuff you see in a reality show with a man and a wife. You know, you're going to do the things. You're going to have a pregnancy scare. Listen, I got 4 kids. I have pregnancy scares every other week. All right. So it also says, and I quote, their moms are ready to date. And then it says, Miz helps his dad find a hobby. Those two things are very fascinating to me. Number one, we're about to find out in the next 6 episodes, your moms are ready to date. I assume that doesn't mean each other.
No, our moms are ready to date, to get out in the world again. You know, it's been a long time since my mom has been on a date. Like, I honestly feel, sometimes I'll talk to her and she just seems lonely. She just wants to find someone, a companion to talk to hang out with, that likes the same thing she likes, have the same interests. And, she feels like she's ready to get out there. I mean, sometimes it's a confidence thing. Other times it's, she just doesn't do anything. Like, she literally is around the house. She hangs out with my daughters all the time. She just be a grandma. And so she doesn't, she's been out of the game for so long. How do you get back into the game? So Maurice and I help her and Marjo, kind of get out there again.
Now, what kind of hobby are you finding for your dad? Because my dad's in jail.
Anything.
So he hasn't had many hobbies lately.
Anything to not annoy me. Like, my dad is retired now. He just retired. So he's at the house a lot more. And to have your parents at the house, like, I love my parents to death. I love them. I love them being around my my daughters and their grandkids. But there's overstepping your bounds and being at the house a little too much. It just gets a little too crazy. And I don't want someone over my shoulder parenting me about my kids. Right. I'm going to learn the way I want to learn, and I'm going to teach them the way I want to teach them, the way I feel I teach them. I don't need someone chirping in my ear about that. So in order to do that, I try to find my dad a hobby. And you will see in the episodes, it is a real treat.
I had my mother-in-law institutionalized. So if you need a guy, I have a number.
Hey, all right. Okay.
So tell me a little bit more about this reality show. New episodes are returning. This has been a game changer for you. Like, this is, we see the life of you and your wife, who's been obviously on WWE TV for a long time too. This isn't WWE though. This is your life.
No, this is completely 100% not about WWE. Obviously, I'm a WWE superstar. My wife is a WWE superstar. And it gives you the insights of what it really is like to be a person in our industry, in the entertainment industry, and what it takes to do that. But not only that, what it takes to be a good father and a good husband, and to be a great son, and my wife to be a great daughter. You see our whole family dynamic. It gives you the insights. And honestly, it's a straight up comedy, because my hell is your laughter. So as much hell as I go throughout this entire season, it's honestly, it makes people laugh. And I think right now in the world we live in, sometimes you just need something that you can turn your brain off and just enjoy with your entire family and just laugh. And that's exactly what this show does. It's not about the drama. It's not about fighting and arguing. And trust me, there are fights or arguments, but it usually ends with a good laugh.
So let's get that's Miz and Mizs is coming back to USA Network the night after WrestleMania, which is Monday, April 12th at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central Time. Let's get back to Mania, WrestleMania 37, exclusively on Peacock on Saturday, April the 10th, Sunday, April the 11th. I believe at 8 p.m. Eastern each night, but it is on those nights. Let's get back to Mania. At WrestleMania, you truly have one of the most remarkable careers in recent times. You have been in battle royals. You've been in tag title matches. You've been in the main event. You've been in ladder matches. And now you're in this spot against Bad Bunny. What's this spot like for you? Because it is a marquee spot facing someone as big as he is.
Every spot that you can have on WrestleMania is a marquee spot. And anyone that complains that they're not on the card, you have to be at the top of your game to be on WrestleMania. That's what it takes. It takes to be a top level talent in WWE. And a lot of fans sometimes criticize, WWE for bringing in outsiders to come in. But let's face it, Bad Bunny is a huge megastar. There is no denying that. Whether I like the guy or I hate the guy, he is a huge star who's going to bring an entirely different audience to our show, and to watch and to observe and to see him get beat up the entire time is going to be glee for me. And hopefully they won't hate me too much to where they will turn a nose to it, but hopefully they'll enjoy and watch and see things that what WWE superstars can do. And it's a great spectacle. It's for the entire family. And honestly, it takes away moments that last a lifetime. Like, there are moments from when I was in high school that I still remember to this day, sitting at home in my living room with my 10 friends, and we're all watching The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWE Championship. And, you know, I vividly remember all of us cheering, booing, going. I was a Rock fan. All my friends were Austin fans.
Okay, so I'm in the same boat, brother. I'm in the same boat. I had the same room, the same house, and I was a Rock guy, and I had 9 Austin 316 shirts around me.
Yeah,
it was just an incredible time to be a fan. We'll get back to that in a minute. I got a couple more questions for the Miz, talking about WrestleMania 37 this weekend. Rank these bunnies, all right, from best to worst. Chocolate Bunny, the Easter Bunny, Bugs Bunny, Bad Bunny.
Wow. I would go Bugs Bunny, Chocolate Bunny, Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny would be last. Sorry, bud.
Last? Okay.
Yeah.
It happened.
And maybe after our match, he'll elevate himself. But I plan on, like, I always think you have to earn your respect in WWE, and the way you earn it is you take a beating. And if you can take a beating and still get up and shake a person's hand, then you have earned my respect. And I hope you know, after this match, that not only he earns my respect, I hope he earns the WWE Universe's respect. Because a lot of times with these type of matches, you'll look on the internet and they're like, oh, I can't believe they're giving why aren't they giving this guy or this guy or this guy? You hear all this negative feedback. And then you'll notice as time progresses, like when they first hear the match, it's usually like, oh, why is this? And then the story starts developing. Then you start getting into it. Then something happens where you're like, ooh, okay. So instead of critiquing it, like this happened with John Cena and Nikki Bella versus myself and Maurice. Right. A lot of people at that time were like, Miz should be going for the WWE Championship. And now, by the way, this was a couple of years ago when I was on a roll with the Intercontinental title. And people thought that, hey, Miz is going to be going against AJ Styles or something like that for WWE Championship. And people thought John should have been going up against The Undertaker that year. Right. And so I'll never forget, everyone was just, oh, we don't want to see this. We don't want this match, blah, blah, blah. Why is this match happening? And then Maurice and I did a mock of Total Bellas called Total Bellas BS. And everyone got into it. It was funny. It was entertaining. It was different. And then once that match happened, afterwards, people were like, one of my favorite matches. That story was awesome. Everything was awesome about it. The lead-in, everything. But at first, nobody wanted it. And that's the best part about WrestleMania. When people go, I don't want this story. I don't want, and honestly, everyone's a critic. Everyone has to say something about something going on Raw or SmackDown. I don't like this. This didn't happen. That didn't, da-da-da-da-da. But then once they feel the story, once they get into it, and once they see the match, they look back on it and go, pretty good.
It turns out entertaining people are very entertaining when you let the story play out.
Exactly.
I fight that battle in wrestling all the time. I started this podcast because I was tired of all the negativity online. I was tired of everybody trying to rebook this or saying this guy's being buried. No, I love wrestling. I've loved it my entire life, and I'm going to talk about it here. You're more than a decade and a half into your WWE career. Are there still big misconceptions about you out there that you fight to this day, or have you pretty much beaten all those?
I don't know if I've beaten them all, because I think there's still a lot of people that don't like me and boo me, obviously, because I'm a bad guy. People think that I'm arrogant, egotistical person, and I guess sometimes I am. I guess I am very confident in who I am. I know exactly who I am, and I'm kind of proud of that person and the things I've accomplished. And now I'm just trying to be the best dad I could possibly be to my daughters, the best husband I could possibly be, and hopefully that's a success. But obviously there's misconceptions about everyone, I think. I mean, I imagine when people listen to you, they think one thing or another just because you said a word they didn't like, or you know what I mean? So yeah, I think I still have some misconceptions, but hopefully through time, I will be able to beat them. Like, I still am looked at as a reality star, and before I never liked that. Now I do, because guess what? I got my own reality show that I'm a producer on, and it's very successful. And whenever you have a successful show, on TV, it opens the doors for so many different things.
All right, so I got a couple more questions. We're talking to the Miz. He's facing Bad Bunny at WrestleMania 37, exclusively on Peacock, Saturday, April 10th, and Sunday, April 11th. Two more questions for you. How much fun are you having getting to go around with John Morrison again?
I'm having a blast. Honestly, John brings out the best in me. He really does. He's an out-of-the-box thinker. He's very creative, almost too creative. Like, he's so smart that I literally go, I don't know what you're saying. And I don't think our fans will either, because I don't even know what it is. But then he'll explain it to me and I'll go, that's genius.
Yeah.
But no one's going to get it. He's so smart. And I mean, these raps that we do, you know, we just came out with Hey, Hey, Hop, Hop, did it on iTunes. You know, we did the music video. John creates a lot of the lyrics, like all the stupid lyrics, like the pop culture references, like I'll create. But John comes up with a lot of those raps. Like, we'll sit in a car or we'll sit in a table and I'll just start listening to it. Like, I'll be like, start freestyling. Like, that was good. That one. And then I'll go, let's bring this in. You know, the guy's a rock star. Who's the most critical that all the fans hate? There's a rock band. Oh, Nickelback. Oh, let's say that Nickelback rocks harder. Even though I'm a huge fan of Nickelback. As a matter of fact, they were our lead for Monday Night Raw for a long time. And there's no denying the talent there, but it's still like it's a great line. So yeah, I mean, he comes up with a lot of that stuff, and he moves me to do things I normally wouldn't do. Like, I'm not a singer, I don't sing, but John gets me to do that stuff. We do music videos, and I mean, it's just fun. We're having a blast.
So last question for you, and I'll let you go. I appreciate your time as always. You're one of the most generous with your time at WWE from what I hear, and you're always a great interview. I appreciate you being on Rasslin. Excluding the WrestleManias that you've been in, including the one you main evented, WrestleMania 27, excluding those, what is your favorite WrestleMania of all time?
Wow. It's a good question, because it's one of those things that it's not about the entire show. It's about the moments I always think about. Like, I think about me suplexing Shane off of a rafter that's like 20 feet high, and I don't like heights. Like, I'll deal with them. Yeah. I can, but when I'm up there, I do not want to be up there. And to suplex someone off the top of there, like, that was I was very, very nervous, because that's very dangerous. And that's why we tell kids not to try what we do at home. I mean, that was very dangerous, and we did it, and I survived it. And I was like, wow, that was incredible. To have my dad being inside a WrestleMania ring is just amazing. I love the moment of Shawn saying, like, I love you, and then kicking Ric Flair. Like, that's embedded in my head. The matches with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, anything with The Undertaker, his entrances each and every single year. You know, I still watch, you know, Steamboat and Savage all the time, you know, just to learn from it. Like, even to this day, it still stands the test of time, you know, even with how fast, you know, wrestling has gotten. You know, it still stands. Like, you look at those matches and you're like, wow, it's incredible. I mean, Shane jumping off of a Hell in a Cell onto a table. I mean, I remember when Mankind did it, and I thought that was crazy. And then seeing Shane go probably like 10 feet higher, I was like, oh my gosh, guy's crazy.
Yeah, I go back to, like, I always go to WrestleMania 3, Steamboat Savage. I'm very much like you. I go back to Savage and Elizabeth getting back together at WrestleMania 7.
Hulk Hogan picking up Andre.
WrestleMania X7, Rock and Austin, and all that craziness there. It truly is. It's the best event of the calendar. It is the granddaddy of them all, the showcase of the immortals, whatever. I'll give you the last word. You're facing Bad Bunny, WrestleMania 37. What can we expect?
Expect the unexpected. Because, to be honest, I don't even know what to expect. WrestleMania is coming, and expect that every single superstar, every single person on that WrestleMania card is at the top of their game, because literally we get started and it's like, you want to be at your best. You want to be at your top. And so I pray that Bad Bunny's been training. I don't know if he has. I've heard rumblings that he has. And if he has been training, fantastic. That's going to be great. But one thing is for sure, he's going to get a beating. And I apologize to all of his fans in advance. I hope that once I'm done with him, that not only will he have the respect of the WWE universe, but I hope he has my respect, because right now he doesn't. And no television celebrity, actor, music person, sports star, they don't have my respect until they earn the respect in a WWE ring. Their performances, yes, 100%. Acting, yes, 100%. But coming into a WWE ring, it's a whole nother level of respect. And you have to earn that respect.
That is the Miz. He is facing Bad Bunny at WrestleMania 37. Miz, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Great interview.
All right, there we go. All right, are you good?
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview.
It's been awesome. You were great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, everything, man. All good. How's your interviewing been? How's the show been going?
Oh, fantastic. Well, fantastic. I got Triple H next week. We're coming down like Thursday for Mania.
Excellent.
It's my first Mania ever. I'm 41 years old. I've never been to one because I grew up very, very poor. But I'm so freaking excited.
It's fine. You're allowed to swear. I'm a big boy. It's okay.
It's also
when you see me, make sure you say hi. All right.
Yeah, and I'll have your Barstool Cup next week.
I can't wait. Better be clean.
I'm not promising that shit.
I don't want to use Barstool Cup, but thank you.